Namaskar, this is Professor Eslal from Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. And in the series of research and publication ethics, today I am here to discuss about the topic intellectual honesty and research integrity. This is the second lecture on this topic because in the previous lecture I was discussing some aspect related to this topic, and we are continuing for the next on the same, keeping in mind that you have to learn a lot about intellectual honesty and research integrity. So intellectual honesty, I hope in the previous lecture we have already discussed in detail, and research integrity is also important for you. So let me allow to share the screen as usual. Just wait for 1 minute. We have already discussed this, that why this is important, why intellectual honesty and research integrity is important, and how you can create trust with your stakeholders, how you can create trust for the society, and why you can create trust with your mentors, with your supervisors, and how you can say that you have ability and you bear this intellectual honesty and research integrity. So I am here to discuss with you some important aspect of this. Just see what is research integrity. You know, I hope you know national integration. If you say national integration, then in Hindi, then in your language you say Rashtriya Ekata. If you are talking from Jammu, Kashmir to Kanyakumari, then you are taking in the consideration about 28 or 29 states of your country, India, and you are saying about national integration. So if you are collecting so many, different parts at a particular juncture, then that is the integration. To simulate, to collect different parts at a particular juncture, that is the integration. So integrity, research integrity means if you are a research scholar, you are writing your synopsis, you are moving to the field, you are collecting the data, or you are working in the lab. This is not enough. It is very simple to get admission in PhD or start doing research, but to inculcate some specific properties as the research integrity is important, and that bears first ethical values of your research, that bears trust, that bears your responding attitude, that bears accuracy of your data, that bears non-plagiarized write-ups. So integration, research integration or research integrity means compactness of all the things in a particular individual as a scholar. So the write-up that is already existing everywhere, I have just shared with you, but you should listen what actually I understand and what I want to say with you. Research integrity, that is abbreviated as RI, is conducting research in a way which allows others to have trust and confidence in the method used and finding in that result. as I said. This is not one variable. There is a composition of variables. I counted. If you are getting any result and stakeholders and those who are associated with you are have no trust in your finding or the method you have used, they are saying no, this method is not valid and this is an arbitrary method. So research integrity is nothing but conducting research in such a way that others can realize or other can have faith and trust as well as confidence in the method used by you and the result you have. So this is very, very important. Suppose you have written your PhD thesis and you have collected data as you are claiming and you are coming for the final viva and you are trying to present the same. How your examiner should rely on that data? How that person can check the research integrity? Because the method you have used, the data you have taken, the data you have collected, you have proof, you have photographs, you have signature of the persons who have been in your contact during the answer of your questionnaires. So each and every work in research needs integrity. And in our university, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, we believe in research integrity. It is why at each and every stages of your research, we try to evaluate research integrity and intellectual honesty. So intellectual honesty and research integrity is very, very important, and we hope that everyone should have, who are claiming that they are research scholar or they are doing something, they are trying to give something, they are trying to generate something, they have some idea, they have generated an idea, they have some thought, they are involved in a thought process. Yes, it may be. Thought may be everywhere, but research integrity is there. Research integrity makes someone as APJ Abdul Kalam. Research integrity makes someone as Homi Jahangir Bhabha. Research integrity someone makes as Arjabhat. Research integrity makes someone as S. Chandrasekharan. So research integrity, compel the audience, the viewers, the stakeholders to rely on the methods and finding, because your contribution have been very, very, clearly mentioned each and every steps of your working, each and every steps of your process, each and every steps of the methods you have used in the labs, and the pictorial diagrams, the videos and others, each and every proof you are having. There is no any manipulation. There is no any issue of plagiarism. So that is 100% pure, you can say. And if that things is happening, then this is a very good example of research integrity. So I would like to read the next line of this next paragraph, I can say, of this not paragraph, but the next line after full stop. That what is research integrity? It is not just a reflection of individual research project, but of institution. When we talk about research integrity, as I told you, that this is the integration. When we talk about research integrity, we do not talk only about a single scholar that you are doing or you are not doing. The name of the institution, and the wider community of the research who is involved, the committee who is supposed to be advisory committee or research evaluation research university research evaluation committee or examination committee, whatever you are terming that, each and everyone is associated with that. So research integrity is the goodwill of any institution as well as the goodwill of any individual. So it is expected that every scholar should bear research integrity. If you don't have research integrity, then it can create problem for you, because it teaches you how to survive long in the field of academic, in the field of research, in the field of other framework that is decided by different statutory body like UGC and other research organizations time to time. So now you see, this is the slide that how we can protect research integrity. As I told you in the previous slide, that what should be taken together, what are the sub points that should be collected at a particular point to integrate all the things. So how we can protect research integrity? This is a very, very important things. If you are not violating the intellectual honesty and research integrity, I can say in one line that if you are not, avoiding intellectual honesty and research integrity, then I am sure that you are protecting research integrity. But if you are violating intellectual honesty and research integrity, then you are not going to protect research integrity. So for that, there may be some, alertness, some characteristics to support research integrity, like ensure policies governing academic research not only are in place but are followed. There is a big board, at the entrance of the lab, at the entrance of the research lab or laboratory, that what you have to do, what you don't have to do. That is only for to show, but there is no any practical implementation. So that is only for, that may be a policy that is not executed. If it is executed, then it is protecting research integrity. But if it is not protected, then it is not saving the research integrity. Set a standard for supervision of all testing. There is a need to set a standard of supervision of all testing. Mentors should try to check the outcomes or the finding of each and every experiment that is being done in the labs, each and every experiment that is being done in the lab, or each and every chapter's pages of data as being supplied by the surveyor, like the scholar who is in the field and collecting the data for the purpose of finding the result as according to the variable set by the scholar. So a standard, there is a need to setting of standards for supervision of all the testing. This is the task. This should be the task of any organization, any institute, any university, or any committee which handling the research aspects. Enforce expectation for process rigor. This is also important that we should enforce expectation for process rigor. Just only expecting that we are going to bring the moon on the surface of the earth. It is not a hypothetical thing, is not going to survive long. For that, process should be rigor and exhaustive approaches and practical phenomena related aspect must should be taken into the consideration when you are working in the lab. Communicate expectation for accurate accounting of time spent on each activities. If accountability, transparency, and responsibility, right? Responsibility, accountability, and transparency are there in the force, and there is a record that on which experiment, how many times a scholar or a researcher is spending, and what outcome is coming when this experiment was repeated, when data was collected. So if there is a very minute, observation on the working environment by the team or by the individual scholar or researcher is coming in force, then expectations may be useful or fruitful, or expectation will be really expectation. Otherwise, it will be imagination, and with the help of this, we can protect research integrity. I hope you have enjoyed this lecture on the intellectual honesty and research integrity. So, thank you very much. We are continuously delivering lecture on research and publication ethics, and since in 2021, UGC has permitted for all the institutions who are providing PhD degree or empowered to confer PhD degree to their scholars, students. They have to teach to their students this research and publication ethics for 2 credits. But in our university, with their we are teaching more and more, so we are having a syllabus of 4 credits, means 2 times maximum. We are trying to teach this research and publication ethics, and I hope that you are enjoying this lecture. In case of any query, feel free to write your comment in the inbox, and I shall try to answer your query. So thank you very much for listening and this lecture. Thanks.